rules. We have just three rules. Because it's kind of like bumpy on the ground, we don't want to run. Okay, and you won't have to. We're all going to stay together. So we don't want to run. And then we've got a lot of gates to keep the animals in, and we had an accident last night. Somebody opened up a gate and all the goats went.
I got my hands.
So we got to be really careful. So in order to keep that, we don't want to climb on the gates. And you'll want to because it looks like a ladder, but it's not a ladder and it could fall over on you. And those animals will stick their heads through there and you can get to them. Because they'll come up and they'll let you feed them and everything. So don't climb on the gates. And the third rule is really strange. It's don't pet the cat. That sounds weird, doesn't it?
Don't pet the cat.
Don't pet the cat. Because we have a lot of cats on the farm, but these are working cats. They're really farm cats, and they're cute, and you want to go up and pet them, but they're on the job, and they're out there catching mice, and they're just walking around and doing their job, and sometimes they're not as friendly as a cat. So they might not like it because they might have a mouth on their arm, and they don't want you to distract them at all. So if you can remember those three rules, we're going to have a good time today, okay? Yeah. So we're going to start off, you're going to start off with the... See that animal down there? Look, way down at the end. It's looking the other way. What is that?
A llama.
A llama. That's the one that's from South America. Okay.
We have wipes and antibacterial stuff, so.
Yeah, we do. Would you like one of those? Okay. Just to share. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, you all take one. Okay. This is then pour it into the little kids' hands.
Okay. In your hands.
You think I should? Hey, he already scarred my
Since Danita's not here.
Yeah, it's getting out of the
The rest of it.
Oh, man. I have was anybody else on that?
Hey, Dustin, give him a big kiss.
My hand.
Leisha, I gotta get a Leisha, I want to get a picture of you. You like
Hands on your
Just go up there with you. Just go, don't act like you're gonna hit him. Just go close to him. See? He won't hurt you. He won't hurt you. Oh, sorry, Travis.
You should see those horns. So you should see the horns on this thing.
Oh, the ones that come nibble on her.
You like it?
Step back, step back. We're going to let three at a time go. You can all take a turn. And she's going to let you get the eggs out next.
If you guys will get in line, then you'll get a trash with the gate. If you get in line,
That's not even you guys go out. So if you bring one of the eggs, you take it with you.
we eat these guys. But you can see the rabbit after you do the egg.
Let's do the next three kids over here. You can help us warm it up too. Right?
Hi, girl boys. You want to get me an egg out? Do you have questions about the chicken?
Can you pick the rooster out?
One, just one day.
Yep, I see the rooster. I see the rooster.
Oh, a young one in there. One with a big red cone. The biggest cone.
They let them in.
Oh, that's what they live on them tree limbs. They all stand in a row. Just like kids do on them
This
trees.
guy, he's sitting down, he's got the big thing on his head.
Thank you
I
guys.
think there's another one in there.
Why they go to sleep sitting on the...
Yeah, yep.
How funny. Did you hear her? She said when horses go to sleep at night, they all get on the limbs of their trees. And
One,
then they
two,
crouch
three,
down
there
and
you
they
go.
I know. You think they get on the ground?
Every morning, regardless of how cold it is.
You don't have to try it if you don't want to,
It's
but
not
you can
always
go
the
in.
taste of the ground chicken lays around it.
I love their hands.
What do I
Because, you know, we tell them to be clean all the time. Go see the bunny. I'll get your picture when you're with an animal. You're not with an animal.
Is that a turkey?
Yep, turkeys.
What?
Brian, turn around.
You got a video.
Okay.
I'm gonna wrap.
Did you ever do this in Michigan?
Abby, did you know I did have my
Katie's from Michigan. She never did this before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, give me
Katie, look at me.
look at that.
You got milk?
Oh, good for you.
Khadijah.
Well, this is a good job.
Have you at Grandpa's farm?
In like the kindergarten, I guess. Yeah. Hey, Ken.
Go ahead.
Hey, Dustin. Dustin.
Kendra, look at your mouth.
Here. Look at me now.
Kendra's an old pro. Caitlin, scoot up, honey, so you can have a turn.
Good job.
All right, Joe. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the kids there.
I know, I do too.
Whose parents aren't here.
Works better for you tonight. Let's use this hand there. Let's use this hand there. There you go.
So look at me.
Good.
Gotcha. Okay. Caitlin, I'll get one of you. Look at Mrs. Tackett, Caitlin. I gotcha.
They won't do that.
They're really good.
People keep them in their rose gardens to keep the insects out. They're so gentle, or so delicate and getting the bugs off.
I had those at my house.
Interesting.
I have roses, I don't think our neighbors would like the baby.
Wait till I teach them the things about that. They're such city boys that we did a show at Belterra and had to drive down 42 through the country. They sat there.
Oh, you're so bringing it in here.
Oh, they couldn't take it. Here last year. Oh, we were here last year. Oh, we had to leave that. Because they were just surrounding their food.
Okay.
Is this it?
No, I got one more.
One more group coming. Okay. What are you doing there?
I'm doing the strip job here.
Yeah, there you go.
No music.
We could just give you a word to work on.
Keep my hat on till the last minute.
Okay, Mr.
All right,
Stan.
some of these adults would like to come in. Feel free. Try not to talk about the adult group here so they understand what's going on. Okay. All right, my name is Mr. Stan, and I'm here to tell you about my most important animal here at the farm, and that is the honeybee. In the springtime, when you see the trees starting to bloom with little flowers of pink and blue and white, those are normally fruit trees. And our honeybees go out and they pollinate those flowers on those trees, and that lets those flowers turn into fruit like apples and peaches, plums, stuff you guys like to eat. Wait for the tractors to go by. Well, they do the same thing when we plant our vegetable seeds in the garden. We hit the spinach and carrots and that stuff you guys like to eat there. They pollinate those blooms, and that's why we get our vegetables. Well, also here at the pumpkin patch, we go out and we plant pumpkin seeds in the springtime, and when they start to come up, they come up as a vine, and in the summertime they start to get a big yellow flower. Well, our bees go out and they pollinate those flowers. The flowers have to be pollinated at least 100 times each flower. So that makes the bees very busy. And as they pollinate the flower starts to close up and turns into a pumpkin. So in October when you guys come here, that pumpkin's all fruited out and ready for you guys to take home. So that's why it's important here at the pumpkin patch, because without the honeybees we wouldn't have any pumpkin patch. Well, I want to talk a little bit about how we get our bees here and how we take care of them. When we get our bees, we have to order them from places like Georgia and North Carolina. The bees that I get right from Kentucky. I get mine from a place called Kelly Brothers. They're located down near Paducah. And when they put them in the mail, they put them in a box like this. And this has got a screen on it. The reason for the screen is so that the bees can breathe while they're in the mail on their way to me. If you'll notice, there's a can in that box. Well, that can, when they put that in the mail, is full of sugar water. And if you'll notice, there's two little holes at the bottom of that can. That's so the sugar water can drip out while they're in the mail, and the bees have something to eat. So when they come to my farm, they're not real hungry and start looking for food right away. So that they get full up in sugar water. Well, when the bees come, they come to the post office, and the postmaster will call me up at home. And they say, Mr. Stan, your honeybees are here. And the reason they know that the honeybees are here is because they're keeping all the postal workers awake. What do bees do? Bees go bzzz, so they can't sleep when that noise is around. So anyway, I had to go down to the post office. I pick up my honeybees, and I bring them back to the farm. But when I bring them back, I've got a box that looks like this. This is called a hive box. When I put 2 or 3 of these boxes together, they call them beehives. So the bottom part is the hive box, though, and that's where I will put the bees that I get. I take that can out, and you notice that makes a nice big door for my bees. Well, I just turn that upside down, I tap it a couple times, and those bees go right through that door into their new home. Well, I empty them out of the box, I'm through with that box. Inside that box is a little box. Now this little box contains the most important bee in the whole hive, and that is the queen bee. The queen bee comes in this box, and there's a little hole in the end of that if you can see it. But when I get it, it's got sugar candy in it. Sort of like a peppermint stick, or these mints like I'm chewing right now. It's a hard candy. So I'll take that box out of that big box, and I'll put it in here with the bees that I just dumped in there. Well, those bees, they smell that sugar, and they'll go in here and they'll start eating that out. Well, when they eat that all out, you see the hole? That's how the queen gets out of that box. And so when she gets out, she's at home. The other bees, they're ready to take care of her. And what they do is she has a comb inside, and she starts laying eggs right away. A real little round egg. That egg develops and starts turning into what they call a larva. A larva looks like a grub worm. I know you guys have seen grubs in the garden, right? Well, that's what it looks like. But instead of a locust or a caterpillar coming out of that larva, we have a baby bee that comes out. We have 3 types of bees that live in the hive. The first one I just told you about was the queen bee. That's the most important bee, and there's only one. She's important because she lays all the eggs for all the new bees that come into the hive. The second type of bee is a drone bee. The drone bee are the little boy bees, and their only job is to take care of the queen. So when the boy bees are in here, they make sure that the queen is clean, and that the queen is getting lots of nice food to eat, and that the queen is laying eggs. The drone bees never leave the hive. When they're born, they are in the hive, and they stay in that hive until the day they die. And all they do is take care of the queen. Well, the third type of bee is the worker bee. The worker bee are mostly little girl bees, and when they're born, they're not big enough to fly out yet, so they teach them how to keep house. And they keep the floor of the hive clean. Any straw or dirt or hay that comes in there, they sweep that out the door. When the drone bee dies, they take those bodies and throw them out too, because they don't want any dirt or anything that's not honey inside that hive. So when the little baby girl bees, worker bee, grows up enough that they can fly, they come out of the bottom of that beehive, they go out into the fields, and they start pollinating the flowers. They take that sugar and that pollen that's in the flowers, they bring that back to the hive, and they start making honey right away. Well, to get that honey, I have to work with the bees. I have to make sure that they're clean and they're healthy too. So in order to do that, I have to dress up. If you see this white suit, I have to put this white suit on, a pair of gloves, and a hat. Now, if I didn't put that white suit on and I went up to the beehive with dark clothes like this, those bees would come out and they would attack me. And the reason they would attack me was because they would think I was a wild animal. They would think I was a bear, or a skunk, or a raccoon, or even a wild dog. Because in the wild, that's the kind of animals that will attack a beehive and steal all their honey from them. The bees know this. So in order to protect their honey, they will attack anything that's dark colored and comes up to their hive. So that's why I don't want to wear dark clothing, I wear white. Now, when I put the suit on, it takes too long to put that on for you guys, I also put on a long pair of gloves. The glove is made out of 3 different types of material. The bottom part is a nice, heavy, thick leather, very dense, very, very thick, because when I had to put my hand down and work with those bees are going to climb all over my hand and up my arm. So I don't want to get stung. Well, their bee stingers won't even go into this leather, so they can't sting me on my hand. You notice the second part is a net. The net is so it's a nice soft material, because if it was a cotton or this here glove part, and I bent my wrist like that, I could actually smash a bee. Now, if I smash a bee, you know what happens is their body gives off a special odor. The other bees will smell that odor and they get very angry because they realize one of their own bees are being killed and they want to protect themselves. So they will get very angry and come out and they will start attacking whatever is killing their bees. So that's another reason I don't want to kill a bee, is because they will get mad and start swarming around on me. The third type of material is cotton. It goes up all the way around my elbow. And the reason for that is, so if the bees do climb up my arm, they can't get underneath in my shirt sleeve and sting me on my arm. So I have the suit, I have the gloves. I'm pretty well protected to work with the animals with my body there. The third thing I wear is a hat. This is called a beekeeper's hat, and the reason they call it a beekeeper's hat is beekeepers wear them. So I'll put this on, show this to you. It's hard, and it comes and sticks out away from my face. The reason for that is so when I put the net on, it holds the net away from my skin. If the bees happen to come around my face, they can't sting me on my nose or get into my eyes or my cheek. See my ears? See how they stick out a little bit? I grew up like that. So I have to protect my ears. That comes away from my ears. If the bees land here, they can't sting me on my ears. If you'll notice, there's a second section of netting comes down around my neck. Well, that protects my neck from getting stung. It goes down around my collar, and that way the bees cannot climb up underneath there and sting me on my chest either. So between my suit, my gloves, and my hat, I could almost step right inside that beehive and not have to worry about getting stung. Well, after I get dressed up like that to protect my body, I have to have 3 special tools that I use to work with the bees. This is called a smoker, this is called a bee brush, and this is called a hive tool. Now the hive tool is nothing more than a miniature crowbar. If you boys and girls have ever seen Dad try to take a box apart or pry 2 boards away from each other, a pry bar goes in there and pops those nails right out of there. Well, I use this for the same reason. I have to pry these boxes apart. Because when the bees move into their new house, they do the same thing your mom and dad do when they move into a new house. They want to make sure that it's insulated. So when winter's coming and it's cold like it is today, the wind is not coming into their home. So the bees do the same thing. They take the same wax they use to make their honeycomb, and they take that wax and seal all the cracks. When I put other boxes on there, they seal the cracks where those boxes come together. Any holes that are in those beehives, they seal that up with wax so the cold wind don't come in. So I have to take this pry bar and I have to actually get it underneath those box joints and pry those loose because that wax is sealing it. If I tried to lift that without prying it, the whole thing would come apart or come up. So I have to make it come apart by prying it loose. That's what I use the hive tool for. This is called a bee brush. A bee brush is very, very soft. And I really like the feel of this bee brush. I get carried away sometimes. But the reason that it's so soft is I don't want to crush my bees, right? So a hard bristle would crush a bee. While I'm working with my bees, I have to constantly brush the bees off the top and the side of the box so I don't crush them when I move my frames around. If I crush them against the side, there again, they give off an odor. So that's why I use the bee brush. The third thing that I have to use is called a smoker. This is nothing more than a tin can with a bellows attached. I open that up, I fill this up with wood chips, paper, and rags, burlap, whatever. I light that with a match. I get a really good flame going, then I close the lid. Well, I want to make sure that that flame goes out and all I get is smoke. Because if I didn't and I did that to the bees, a flame would come out, I'd have flaming bees all over my field. I don't want that. So I have to make sure that the fire's out. I get a lot of smoke. I take that and I put it at the very bottom of the beehives and go through the doorways, and I pump and I pump and I pump and I fill that whole inside of that beehive with smoke. Guess what? The bees think there's a fire outside. So the first thing they do, they want to protect their honey, right? So they go inside and they start eating that honey because they know, especially if they were in the woods, that if a fire reached their beehive, what do we make candles out of? Wax. Wax burns. So they know that their beehive will catch on fire. So they eat that honey in case they have to go out. They have to make a new honeycomb so that they can live and reproduce some more. So that's why they eat the honey, so they have enough food to live. This is also a wild hive, by the way. Anyway, when I get that all done, I'm dressed. I have all the bees full, and I know when I eat supper, I don't feel like running around the block twice. Do you? Okay, well, the bees are the same way. They get a nice full stomach. They're going to stay down here where the honey is instead of flying around my head, and I won't be able to see if they're all flying around my head. Well, I take this frame out. Now, when I put the frame in, this is what I do. I put this piece of wax paper in there. And the reason I do that, because if I did not put the wax paper, they would have to start from scratch and make the whole honeycomb from whatever they get out in the field. This way I cheat. They've already got the wax frame in here. They start making honey for me right away. The beekeeper gets more honey that way too, because they spend less time making wax. So we have this, and it'll look like this inside here. I'll take a knife and I'll slice off that outer cover of wax. I put it in a piece of machinery that looks similar to this. This is called a honey separator, and I'm going to show you why. You guys see that spinning around? You see that down there? Okay. Well, I told you I cut off the outer layer of wax. That lets that honey be exposed, and when I spin it, that honey flies out of that honeycomb against the inside of this barrel. Well, that honey goes up inside the barrel, it starts to drip down. When it drips down, I get a jar. I open the valve at the bottom, and the honey pours right into my jar. Has anybody ever gone to the grocery store and see honey on the shelf for sale? Well, that's how they get it in the jars. Now, I've got a little bit of time, I think. I'm going to tell you what I do with my honey. All right, when I get my honey, I divide it into 3 groups. The first group of honey I sell because I have to have money to buy equipment to work with the bees. If I had to replace my bees, I have to pay for that, so that's money for new bees. The second group of honey, who likes honey? Okay, well my children love honey, my wife loves honey, I like honey a little bit. But anyway, my wife makes me save some honey, so we have honey at the house for us to eat, because it tastes better than sugar on some things. So we save the second group of honey for ourselves and our family. Well, the third group of honey is, remember I told you we take honey during the summer from the bees? Well, that means they don't have a lot left over for the winter. So that third group of honey we save just like canned vegetables at the grocery store. And we feed that back to the bees in the wintertime. So in the springtime, they're nice, well-fed, they're healthy, and they can start going out when the flowers come out, start pollinating the flowers. We stop feeding them, and the whole thing starts over again. So that's how we work with our bees here at the pumpkin patch. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask your leaders while you're on the tour. If you see me around the farm while you're here still, I'd be glad to answer any questions that they can. Okay?
Thank you to Mr.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we got the little pigs and we got the baby pigs. I think they're so.
I don't have anything for you.
Always waking them up. He woke up the pig. Oh, how amazing.
And I just said they didn't have anything.
Yeah, Rachel did.
Did you hear that? He sounds funny.
Yeah, they're little tails.
Fluffy fart ones on him. Do you see pigs have hair? Like 2 years old. That cow's only 2 years old.
Pete. Poor Pete. Does Pete get to go outside and run around? That's the wool from the sheep. Oh, there. You want to peel the wool
This
from
sheep
the
was
sheep?
not sheared this spring, so
Pass it
I
to
mean,
me.
that's a full coat of wool on it.
Did you feel it, Brian?
Put your fingers in there if you want.
That, so everybody can feel it.
Okay. All right, Rachel, I'll let you keep them moving there.
It's spongy.
They make clothes out of that.
2 more. Will you guys come here? Feel this. Okay, get the rest of Tyler. Thank you.
Look, some more.
Feel this.
Oh, there's some more. Yo, me and you are going to the same time.
After you're through, then go stand out there by Mrs. Koenig and Mrs. Wilson. So that, don't stand by the hay so we don't get anybody with accidentally get stung by it.
There's one right there, too.
Okay.
I'm going to be
2 more people.
there. I ate for
Go out by Mrs. Koenig and Mrs. Wilson. Good job, guys. Look, you're most making it feel happy.
Joe.
It was.
Okay, 2 more. Okay. You guys ready to switch?
Okay, switch now.
Here, Joe. Thank you. You guys come right here.
Dale.
These are called bales of hay
Yeah.
or straw, whatever they might be.
Dude, stop them. What? What? I play football for the Blackhawks. What do you put that on the TV screen?
Just the wagon and everybody in it?
Do you put that on the TV screen when you get home? Yeah. Yeah.
Will I?
Yeah, will you? Yeah. Where? A cat, a worker cat. Daddy, I see a worker cat over there. I want to climb over the hay. Come on, where does this open up at?
Now who else needs
Huh?
one? I've got
Where
it.
does this open up at? Baby gave me her.
That's it.
Okay, thank you, Katie. Here's one. Anybody else need one?
take your picture.
How do you get around those things? Ooh, look at that green pumpkin.
Brian, that side. He told you to go on that side. He wants you to go on that side.
Here, let me help you.
Over here. Look around, Bri.